Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Logan Windsor, along here with Wyatt Wells for yet another episode. Wyatt, how was the weekend?
We had a ton of topics to cover today. Lots of sports happened over the course of the past couple of days.
We do. There's a lot to talk about, and we're excited to bring it to you. So we will start with something that's not football or basketball, believe it or not. It is the Daytona 500.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be this into motor racing if you would have asked me about 2 weeks ago. But I'm definitely in the thick of things right now.
They brought a good fight because you were there for Media Day.
Yeah.
So the Daytona 500 2020 ended in a great event. There was 5 cautions at the end of the race in the final 10 laps. And in overtime, Danny Hamlin wins the Daytona 500 for the 3rd time in 5 years.
Only Richard Petty's been able to do that, and that's one of the legendary names. And then also, of course, he becomes the 4th player to win back-to-back Daytona 500s since the track's creation in 1959.
But unfortunately, that is not the main story for today because Ryan Newman, at the final turn, about to win the Daytona 500, gets injured in a crash. Luckily, it is not life-threatening. After hitting a wall and then getting hit by another car, Ryan Newman was sent to the hospital where he did not suffer life-threatening injuries, and he is speaking to doctors.
Yeah, Logan, when I watched that crash initially, I was in the middle of my work shift, and everybody saw it on the TV. The whole bar screamed and went silent, basically. I personally thought this man was dead. I mean, you get hit on the worst part that you can in the race car, the driver's side window, going 200 miles an hour, get another car T-bone, you flip, and then catch fire like that. I feared the worst for majority of the night.
It seems like he's going to be okay, though. Now, we could talk a lot about Fox's coverage of the whole thing, where they seem to focus more on Danny Hamlin's victory rather than the crash of Newman, kind of like disregarding it. I have a lot of thoughts about that, and we'll see what the fallout ends up being of that. But for Wyatt and I, we both send our condolences to Ryan Newman and his entire family. We hope that he's going to be okay. But it seems like he will make out of this alive.
Yeah, and it's sad to watch considering that when you really look at it, Newman was technically going to be the winner of the Daytona 500. He was in the lead for the most part. His buddy behind him was trying to help block him out, and then Hamlin just pushed his partner right up into him, and then, of course, the crash unfolded. So to really go from one of your highest highs to probably one of your lowest lows in just less than 200 yards is scary. And to think that today, the day we're filming this, Tuesday, is about the 19th anniversary since Dale Earnhardt died, the last person to die on a Daytona 500 track.
The reason why Ryan Newman may be alive is because of the changes NASCAR made after that crash. How safe those cars are, it's unbelievable that he will be able to walk out of this, hopefully.
Absolutely.
But was that the highlight of the weekend? No, it was not. Please, Wyatt, please tell me about the highlight of the weekend.
Yeah, and not really highlighting terms talking about the Daytona 500 itself, but the fact that I don't know why you doubt me, man. I mean, we both are trying to be sports journalists in ourselves. We try to have at least some common decency in our picks, but you just really love the East, and it cost you dearly.
If anyone is unaware, the All-Star game ended in Team LeBron winning 157 to 155.
I'm sorry, just real quick. If we can play back the clip from last week, just go ahead and play that real quick.
Okay, Team Giannis by a million. Wait. Let me do this because of the new All-Star rules. I have Team Giannis in the first quarter, Team Giannis in the third quarter, and then I have Team Giannis getting to the first 24 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Well, okay, in my defense, it was a lot closer of a game than we thought.
Okay, I will give you that.
Kawhi Leonard, 30 points, 8 threes. He had second most threes in an All-Star game. Giannis and Gobert both put up a fight, both scoring over 20 points, including Kyle Lowry drawing 2 incredible charges late in that fourth quarter. The format worked.
We saw some defense in that fourth quarter.
We saw playoff defense. That's kind of the game you really want to see. You know, you really want to see the best players in the world, you know, all on the same team, actually put forth like a mindset to try to win a game and not just like do the most dunks or have the best highlights. Well, speaking of dunks, the first 3 quarters, 47. The fourth quarter, 1. They're playing incredible defense. I don't know if it was because of the charity and the kids being involved, or I don't know if it was trying to get to a target score, but they need to do that every year. They need to copy it until it fades. But unlike Wyatt says, I'm a man of my word, and I picked Team Giannis to win the game. Now, Team Giannis was so close, but they didn't win. So, Wyatt, here's $20. Congratulations,
Thank you, sir.
you piece of garbage.
We'll make sure 1,
Wait.
2,
Oh,
3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6.
No, I guarantee
7,
you it's
8,
all there.
10, 11, 12, 13. Just making sure.
Are you making sure?
Yeah.
Is it 20?
This one's about 20.
I'll keep my money.
No, we can get that after the show, but I'm just very happy. Obviously, not too many people probably would have bet against the West, but Logan, I'm just thankful that I have a partner.
I mean,
like
it was
you.
technically still Team LeBron. I mean, it looked like the West, but he had some East players in there because of the draft.
I guess that's true, but majority.
But again, the All-Star Weekend was absolutely incredible. On Saturday, we had amazing events like the skills competition where Bam Adebayo, a big one. Then we had Buddy Hield win at the buzzer. Somebody that I told you should have picked.
I know, I should have picked him. I was on the Zach LaVine hype train, and I had Buddy Hield in my spot, but then he didn't want to do Zach LaVine, so I wanted to take that over, but I should have just stuck with my gut on that one.
And then we had the dunk contest. Probably the most exciting dunk contest in history. Once again, we had Aaron Gordon involved, going into a dunk-off at the end. Little bit of controversy, though, because on the final dunk, Aaron Gordon received a 47 for this masterful dunk over 7'5" Taco Fall.
You dunked over Taco, man.
He jumped over Taco and didn't win. Granted, Derrick Jones Jr. had amazing dunks throughout that. A reverse 360 tornado. He had an under the legs, over the free throw. He had a couple.
Was not 1 foot inside the free throw.
1 foot inside.
Gotta give him that.
Can I just give a shout out to Pat?
Oh, I mean,
please, because
yeah,
he was this close. He was 1 point away from making the finals. He wouldn't have beaten Aaron Gordon probably, so I would have been wrong. But that dunk over Giannis was absolutely incredible.
With the tap on the glass.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty.
Was it rigged?
It was pretty.
Was it pretty rigged? The whole thing.
Rigged? Oh man, dude, there's so many conspiracy theories coming out on here. Here's mine, because I'm going nuts, because I think Aaron Gordon got robbed twice now, and I hate that he doesn't want to do the dunk contest anymore, because I saw some of the cleanest dunks from Gordon that night. I think, man, you're just looking up. So it was Derrick Jones' birthday on Saturday.
Who was the judge that gave him 9?
Well, there were 3. We had Scottie Pippen and then Chadwick Boseman, Mr. Black Panther.
But it was supposed to be a tie.
It was supposed to be a tie.
The judges decided they wanted to make it a tie.
Apparently.
Who went rogue?
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Mr. Miami Heat.
Who gave Pat Connaughton White Men Can Jump Dunk an 8 when Scottie gave it a 10? Who gave him an 8? Dwayne Wade. So
plead the fifth.
Dwayne Wade, you may have played for Marquette. You may be a fan to a lot of Milwaukee's eyes. You're dead to me. You're dead. You're dead to me.
I won't go that far, but I think Gordon got screwed out of that one, especially. Man, that one off the back, off the side, and then just it was so clean. While that Taco Fall dunk was impressive, I understand that, in terms of just, cleanness, you would put Jones's better than that.
I would say those 2 dunks, the Taco Fall dunk and the Markelle Fultz off the backboard dunk, those are probably 2 of the top 3 dunks of all time.
Yeah, I would see. The only thing is, I would actually, if you were looking at, I would put Gordon's side dunk better than the Taco Fall.
Oh, it is. I'm just saying they're both top 3.
Oh,
and you know what's third up there? The over the mascot under the legs dunk he had in 2016.
And yet still didn't win.
He still has not won a dunk contest.
Yeah.
But Dwayne Wade is the second most hated thing in sports right now. Why? What's the most hated thing in sports right now?
Well, it would probably just be Astros and their the Astros organization. They made another attempt. Quote there, another attempt to apologize, and still seem to mess it up. Owner literally said that they believe that this did not impact the game at all. That is quotes.
And then he was asked about it again.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and we'll play that real quick because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Listen, the Yankees have had a few comments out there. Our opinion is, that this didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
Jim, when talking about the Yankees there, did you say you feel like this didn't impact the game? And what do you mean by that?
I didn't say it didn't impact the game. Basically, as the commissioner said in his report, he's not going to go backwards. It's hard to determine how it impacted the game, if it impacted the game, and that's where we're going to leave it.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Crane for you, ladies and gentlemen. And then there have been MLB players reacting to this. A couple major reactions. Aaron Judge for one.
Yeah, a couple players are not happy at all. Some are. It's prompted to the league and the MLB to kind of almost get ahead of this and kind of make some rules to not intentionally hurt the Astros players when they go on the road.
Well, baseball is an owner-driven league. The commissioner of baseball is the boss. The owners are the boss to the commissioner. It's not the commissioner is the boss to the owners. It's the other way around, unfortunately, in baseball. So we can't do much, and Jim Crane will not be punished. A lot of players are speaking out. They think the title should be stripped. I personally think the title should be stripped.
I think it should be,
and
too.
I think Altuve's MVP over Aaron Judge should be stripped also. But hey, that's just me thinking It's me thinking like a logical human being.
Logan, it's just a piece of metal.
It's just a piece of metal. But you know what? That piece of metal has a lot of meaning to a lot of players.
Yeah, and it also cost some players their careers.
It did.
I'll be interested to see what goes forward. The whole tattoo thing also, how they, oh man, an unfinished collarbone tattoo I didn't want. Why are you thinking about that when you just probably hit one of the best home runs in your franchise history and in your personal career?
Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
We'll see what else comes out in the coming weeks or months, but this has just been a shit show from the beginning, Logan.
Well, we're going to kind of move on from that sadness to get some light because it is the midseason now in the NBA. With the All-Star break ending, there are only a couple games left for the year. We're going to kind of give our awards and look back on what's been a pretty exciting first half of the NBA season. Starting off with the award for most shocking team. Wyatt, who is the most shocking team in the NBA right now?
For me personally, it was the Miami Heat. I saw the Jimmy Butler trade earlier in the season. I didn't really, I don't really pay attention too much to the Heat specifically. So just seeing them come up, though, they're, granted they're not in the top three aspect, but they're right on the cusp there to really contend for this Eastern Conference. And I think with Jimmy Butler, Andre Iguodala, and then, of course, Bam Adebayo, little bright side there, getting an all-star vote in and getting that. And then Kendrick Nunn as well. I mean, they've got some players on this team, not to mention, if I didn't already, the Iguodala trade, that can really make a splash here. I really like the Heat. And then, of course, you got the world's best dunker and Ken Jones.
The second best dunker in the world,
some would say. But
I
was very pleasantly surprised with just how big of a just improvement the Heat are.
Yeah, I would agree. The Heat are surprising. I personally had them way above. Like, I knew they were going to be good just because I follow basketball a lot, and Jimmy Butler is a great player. We'll see how they do in the final, in the playoffs coming in the future. I have the Thunder because we all thought that Thunder was going to be the worst team in the league this year by a long shot. Once you lose Westbrook and Paul George, your two starters, and they took you to a 6 seed last year, there's no way they can do well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Paul is still good. And they have some really good young talent. Gilgeous-Alexander on that team is amazing. He is the future of that franchise. And guess what? Last year, they were a 6 seed. They lose Paul George and Westbrook. Right now, they're a 6 seed. 33-22. Unbelievable. People didn't think Chris Paul were going to play this year. People thought he was going to be bought out of his contract.
I didn't anticipate him actually playing like significant minutes for them. And just to think about what they lost and what they're able to continue to do is extremely impressive.
And we move to the other side of the spectrum. We have the most disappointing team award, an award you usually don't want to get. Wyatt, who's the most disappointing team in the NBA?
Well, for me, even though it's kind of expected, the Cleveland Cavaliers for me are the most disappointing team right now. This is in lieu of John Beilein, arguably now almost confirmed stepping down as head coach for the Cavaliers after signing a 5-year contract, leaving the University of Michigan. It just, everyone talks about that change, that time in the NBA to college, or that college to NBA, that transition period. It did not work at all.
No,
for John
it didn't.
Beilein.
And the players never got behind him.
Got behind him. We had the whole slug versus thug scenario going on. They've already promoted J.B. Bickerstaff to full-time head coach, which when they hired him, they wanted him to kind of be like the successor for like 6 years down the road. Mm-hmm. Not about half a season into your first season with your new head coach. So there's just Kevin Love wants out. Sexton isn't really being the player that you thought as a high pick that you'd want to be. While it's pretty easy to say the Cleveland Cavaliers have been the most disappointing team, just the head coaching issues have just been the cherry on top.
I think they're more disappointing in a sense that we thought their future was going to be brighter. I don't see anyone on the Cavs being part of the future of them in the future. Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, I don't see them being Cavs. For me, it's obvious. It's the Sixers. The Sixers were supposed to be contenders with the Bucks, possibly better than the Bucks this year because they added Al Horford and Josh Richardson. They're horrible. They are so bad. They only beat on bad teams. They have yet to have a signature win this year. The Bucks maybe on Christmas Day, but that was still in Philadelphia. They can't win on the road. Al Horford doesn't play anymore. He's a sixth man. Embiid and Simmons having chemistry issues. Simmons is shooting only 16 points a game, which we thought he was going to make that step to like top 10 talent. Tobias Harris gets just garbage points. This is a team that doesn't have a leader because Joel Embiid is constantly in the news for whining like a child. I don't see Embiid and Simmons ever succeeding together. And I think they lose first round of the playoffs to probably the Heat. But anyway, we're going to move on to the Who is This Player award? A player that we didn't really know a lot about to start off the year, but now they're a big deal. Wyatt, who's a big deal?
Well, like I talking earlier, Bam Adebayo, a very good guy. Just got his All-Star, what would you call it? Promotion?
Yeah, upgrade. He's an upgrade.
Yeah. He just got his All-Star and upgrade. He's been averaging about 15.8 points so far during the season, 10 and a half rebounds, 4 assists. He's been shooting nearly 60% from beyond the field goal percentage. Just a guy who didn't really know much coming in, and to mix in with that Miami team, I think gives just a great edge, almost like a just trying to think of the word, addition.
He solidifies the role of big man for the Miami Heat, which we didn't expect.
It's a good fit, and it works well with them. So
yeah,
I think with him and just his up-and-coming season, it's clicking at the perfect time with the perfect team right now.
Yeah, and I would agree with you that my pick was going to be Bam Adebayo because, we've seen him for years. We have never seen him make that next step, but he really made the next step this year. Someone made a really big step, like a really, really heavy and aggressive step this year. We thought that this player was not going to play this year because of injury. We weren't expecting anything, We were like, oh, he won't play that much, and even if he does play, it's not going to be good basketball. Zion Williamson is my Who Is This award? No, do you not know who Zion Williamson is? I think this is the first time that we have mentioned Zion on the show. I don't know if I really expressed how much I appreciate Zion Williamson, but here, let me throw you his 10 games. So, he was injured. He's a rookie. Here's his first 10 games in points. 22, 15, 21, 14, 24, 21, 20, 21, 31, 32. He's already a top 20 talent in this league, and he's only played 10 games. He proved that he can shoot three-pointers, going 4 for 4 from 3 in his first game, but that's not his strength, so he's not shooting threes. So you know what he's doing now? He's getting boards, and he's 6'7". He's getting double-digit boards almost every freaking game. He is shooting at the most efficient rate that any rookie has had in his first 10 games by a lot. Over Hakeem, over Dikembe, over LeBron, over everyone. He's incredible already. And I think people did not expect him to be this good this quickly because even LeBron and Kobe were great this early. Zion, because John Morant's going to be missing a few games. I'm putting in a lock right now. Zion wins Rookie of the Year. Locked.
Why'd you have to do that?
Locked.
Have you not learned? It's not even been 10 minutes since you lost all of this money.
I'm locking it in.
God damn, dude.
All right,
First of all, I don't even. You can't just move on from that.
Yes, I can.
You cannot. This is the Who Is This player. You know how many commercials I've seen with Zion's face on it today, driving to your house?
Yeah, because he's doing this.
4.
Because he's doing this.
No, he's the face. He's the face of the Pelicans, even though he's not even the main focal point of the offense yet. Everyone knew him since high school.
Did he play last year? No. He is a new face. Bam Adebayo did more last year in the NBA than Zion Williamson did. So
and everyone knew more about Zion Williamson
in the NBA,
college than they knew about. Damn, you just.
This wasn't an excuse to put Zion Williamson.
No, this is
in
exactly the definition of an excuse to put in. Who is this? Get out of here! Everyone knows.
All right. So another category that I'm not going to be biased in, the MVP. We have the MVP award, the most valuable player for the first half of the season. Wyatt, who's your MVP so far?
I wonder who yours is gonna be.
I have no idea.
I'm torn between LeBron and Harden right now. I really like Harden's ability to, get after it inside the paint, but then also he has that 3-point ability to just hit it almost at will. But LeBron's on a mission right now.
He is.
He's going hard, and that making some people worried that he's going too hard for the postseason. Right now, it's still a toss-up for me, but speaking right here, right now, just mind going, I'm going to have to give it to LeBron. So
and I think that's fair.
I'm going to go LeBron.
That's very fair. I think LeBron would be the second best option you could have for this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go James. I'm just kidding. I'm going Giannis Antetokounmpo. Are you kidding me? Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Wonder why.
I thought he couldn't do better than he did last year. Did you know he's a 3-point shot now? He hits it consistently now.
And he has a kid.
Yeah, he does. He has little Liam, who's going to be a future Buck. He's shooting per 36. I'm going to go per 36 because Giannis is playing only 29, 30 minutes while Harden is playing 41. So this is less than Harden. He's shooting 6 threes every 36 minutes. He's making 35 points a game. And the Bucks have Chris Middleton, who's over 20 points. You have Bledsoe, who's 16. You have players in that team that are shooting a lot, and Giannis is still dominating. Second most dunks, most points in the paint, most 2-pointers made. Granted, his free throw percentage is a little down, but because the Bucks only have 8 losses and because he's the leader in points per game in 36 minutes, I'm going to go Giannis Antetokounmpo for the MVP. Okay. And it's not biased.
It's biased from your perspective, but as an overall pick, it's probably the more logical and reasonable pick you've probably made.
And the last award is for our NBA Finals predictions, which again will not be biased by me. Wyatt, who's going to make the NBA Finals?
I'd like to see a Heat's Clippers. I think that the Heat can knock off the Bucks in the East, and I think that even though the Clippers have been kind of shaky over the past couple weeks, and you could arguably say month or so, I think that once it comes to playoff time, fun guy Kawhi is going to go full cyborg mode. I think that Paul George is going to lock it down. Pat Beverly's going to step it up. I think that they have a ton of players. Zubac, I think they all will be able to just lock any team they want down once the playoffs start. So I'm gonna go Heat Clippers with Clippers taking it. Kawhi MVP 2 times in a row.
And we're running out of time, so I'm just gonna say mine quickly. It's the Bucks now Lakers because the Bucks have Giannis and the Lakers have LeBron. That's incredible. I think the Lakers are better chemistry than the Clippers because I think Kawhi and Paul George have been struggling with their chemistry. And the Bucks are by far the best team in the East. There's no contest.
All right, now we're going to get quickly into the C block here. Time for picks. Only have a couple minutes. We're kind of racing against the clock here. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury Part 2. Wilder defending his title for the 11th time since winning it back in January of 2015. The man's first fight coming in kindergarten. The Bronze Bomber wants a body on his record. You can quote him on that. It was a great fight that went to a draw last time with a beautiful connection there from Wilder to Fury's face. The Fury got knocked down and almost looked like he got knocked out, but pops right back up. We should see another good one coming on Saturday on pay-per-view. Who do you got, Logan?
I'm going to go with Fury because I think in that contest, if Wilder doesn't get up, I think Fury wins that pretty easily. And I think Fury is going to come back and show the world that he can beat the undefeated champion.
Yeah, Fury's been training for about 2 years, so he's good about it. But you can't go with can't go against the champ. I'm gonna take Wilder. Denver Nuggets and Thunder, Friday, February 21st on 8 o'clock ESPN. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Nuggets. Logan?
I'm going to go with the Thunder because every time I pick against the Thunder, they win.
All right, Pelicans, Trailblazers, Friday, February 21st as well, 10:30 ESPN. I'm going to go with Trailblazers.
And I'm going to go Pelicans because I'll never pick against Zion. Zion will always win every game that I pick.
Apparently. And also, Philadelphia, the 76ers versus your Milwaukee Bucks, Logan. That is on the 22nd at 8:30 at ABC. Bucks as well.
Bucks!
And finally, the Celtics versus the Lakers. 3:30 Eastern Time on ABC, February 23rd. Nice Sunday game. I'm going to go with the Lakers, Logan.
I really want to change to the Celtics because I really like the Celtics this year, but the Lakers have just been playing too well, and I think LeBron is activating playoff mode.
The Celtics are doing good right now in the East. I believe they're third place right now. They're close with Toronto for second, but they're in third place, I believe. So
I do want to beat you this week, though, because we tied last week. I was a Giannis 3 away from beating you last week in picks. This is the week I beat him, guys.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of ties, or we got a couple of the same picks, so we'll see how those first 3 kind of divide us out. Anyways, I'm Wyatt Wells. That's Logan Windsor. Who knows how much time is left before this card gets out. Have a great rest of y'all's week. We might be having a Daytona package coming up for y'all this week. Maybe it's still being edited, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, thank you all for joining us today. And as always, have a good night.
Take your freaking money.
Hey.